Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Gainesville. For all of you who are here in the sanctuary, it's a bright, sunny day out there, thankfully. And for all of you who may be watching virtually, we're glad you are joining us. I'm Don Necco, and I'm pleased to lead the music this morning. And my friend and colleague, Reverend Jeanie Ward, is with us this morning. So welcome again, Reverend Jeanie. So let's get started with something a little peppy, and this is a song that we've done back a while. Some of you may remember it. It's called House Built on Love. And so we'll do it through twice. We'll sort of go through it together so you can learn it, and then we'll do it a second time. So y'all ready? Here we go. Come, let us gather together. This is a place of love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Come, let us gather in peace. This is a sacred space. We join our hearts here in one loving family. This is a house built on love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Okay, stand please. Come, let us gather together. This is a place of love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Come, let us gather in peace. This is a sacred space. We join our hearts here in one loving family. This is a house built on love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love.
Good morning. My name is Darlene Becker. I'm one of the prayer chaplains here at Unity, and I welcome you. I'd like to read the daily word. The theme for today is gather. The affirmation, we gather and magnify the presence of God. Would you repeat that with me, please? We gather and magnify the presence of God. As I gather with others in the spirit of love and peace, my awareness of God's presence becomes more powerful, even palpable. Together, we create an energy, a vibration greater than any of us has alone. I am comfortable and at ease when I notice our differing appearances, preferences, backgrounds, and opinions, because I am reminded of the limitless diversity of divine expression and my place in it. When I join in fellowship with my family, friends, and all others who are dear to me, each one of us becomes a mirror for the other. We see in one another the divine presence that lives in us and expresses as every person. The unifying energy of divine love unites and binds us together. In this love, we are one. And from Psalm 133, verse 1, how very good and pleasant it is when kindred live together in unity. You can request prayer by going to the cell phone app and downloading the app, You Pray. I can attest that it works very well. I've used it numerous times, and it goes directly to Silent Unity, where they pray over it for 30 days, and it's just a really great feature to have on your phone. You can also request the prayer team call you back. You just call and leave a message on the church cell phone or the church phone, and we'll be happy to call you back and take care of your needs. Also, I'll be available after church services for anyone requesting individual prayer. Now, please join me in praying for those who have requested prayer during this sacred time in our service. You may take this time to speak their names. All prayers, whether spoken or unspoken, are known by the divine. As we release this heartfelt request, we know and affirm that all is in divine order. We say, thank you, God. So it is. Amen.
Okay, now another musical selection, this time Seek Ye First. It's a wonderful tune written by Karen Lafferty, so we'll have the opportunity to sing along. This is actually a derivative from a verse in the Bible, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. Seek ye first the kingdom within. Trust in that voice deep inside. And all these things will be added unto you. Alleluia, alleluia. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Alleluia, alleluia.
Thank you, Don. Good morning, everybody. Oh, goodness. Well, thank y'all. Give yourselves a hand. How about that? You all showed up today, didn't you? Seen any butterflies this morning? Not yet? I saw one. Oh, yes. Okay. Wow. Wow. There you go. Miracles are all around us, aren't they? If we're awake and present. Actually, yesterday when I was mowing the grass, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, number one, it was like, well, the grass is a little higher than what I thought. I was like, oops. But anyway, as I was mowing along and emptying the container and all of that, and about my third or fourth time of doing that, yellow and black, beautiful butterfly came by. I was like, yes, thank you, because I kept saying, I'm talking about butterflies and transformation tomorrow. It sure would be wonderful to see one. And lo and behold, like the song, ask and ye shall receive, right? Today's talk is actually kind of a segue and a compliment to Reverend Danny's talk last week about Easter Sunday. And it was such a wonderful talk because it was about Jesus, being in the tomb and awakening and rebirthing and all of those kinds of things. And so my talk this morning is along the same line in terms of that theme about us awakening. And sometimes it can be a little scary, it can be a little frightening at times, like, ooh, what's this about? So there are these two caterpillars, right? And they're crawling along a tree branch. And a butterfly flies overhead. And the one caterpillar looks at the other and says, you'll never get me up there on one of those. Isn't that something? Imagine that, because I think that's what happens to us. Even you here as Unity of Gainesville, I was thinking about it on my drive up here this morning. Collectively, you all are very much in this phase. Individually, we are, of course, but as a community, because last Sunday I drove up here and I got to observe you all from a very different perspective. And it was so wonderful to see all of these individual pieces, all these individual orchestrations of the grand orchestra, of everything that goes on You know, it was almost like peering into the cocoon. Of course, that's not something we want to do because it disturbs that process. The goo, if you will, when we're in the goo, because sometimes we're in the goo, it doesn't feel so good, that's for sure. But in any case, I got to observe, and it was so wonderful. I was so excited to be able to look through that lens and see this unfolding process, with everything just coming together in such a divine way. And that's what happens in our individual process, in our own rebirthing. You know, Jesus coming out of the tomb, each of us coming out of our tomb, if you will, coming out of the cave, whatever word you want to use for that we find our own way. Especially find our way when we are willing to what? That wonderful word that people love to hear, surrender. Oh, no. I'm not going to surrender because I know the way it needs to be done. And that's when we can say, but you know what? It's not about my will. It's about thy will. And when I'm willing to allow all, like you all are doing here in the community, you're doing your part, but you're also, I'm trusting and knowing, allowing yourselves to be guided, to pay attention to what's happening, and especially even when we kind of bump up against each other, when there's a little bit of friction. But you know, diamonds don't become diamonds without a little bit of friction, right? Or the pearl out of the oyster. So we have the opportunity to come together in a very unique way to create our individual experience, to create our collective experience in a way that has never been done before. I think that is such a gift. It is such an honor. It is such a privilege to be able to do that. And, you know, we think about the butterfly and the different stages that it goes through. And in fact, it was interesting. If you're ever bored, you don't have anything to do, go on and read about butterflies and that whole process, because it truly is amazing. And, you know, we hear about there's an egg being hatched, and I could go back and forth with a lot of analogies about us, you know, in the womb and being birthed and all of that, but I will save that for another time when we want a science class or something. But for this morning, for the purposes of my talk, I really wanted to look at the different aspects of what happens when we go through these processes and how we can best serve ourselves so that we can serve one another. So you've got this egg, right? And it hatches, and this caterpillar emerges, the larvae, if you will. And the number one thing that caterpillar is focused on is eating everything it can, as much as it can, to fill itself, to nourish itself, because in its process, it's going to shed its skin, its outer covering, like we do in our transition, just metaphorically, 4 or 5 times before it's like, oops, okay, I've had enough. It's time for me to go into a different phase now. A different phase. And so it finds a place, and there's different, I thought there was like just one way that caterpillars kind of do this, but some of them kind of, it looks like they're spinning maybe a cocoon or the chrysalis. Others I read, they like create a silky pad, if you will, under a leaf. And they hook this little, I think it was called a cremaster. They hook this little thingy, if you will, you like that? They hook this little thingy so it can hang on. Sometimes we need to hook on to something, don't we? We go, okay, I need to hook on to God. I need to hook on, you know, to my truth or something. I need to hook on and hold on because I don't know what the heck's going on. So we do that. And so it continues to do what it was designed, divinely designed, created to do. I think of last talk or two, I mentioned about the divine blueprint within each of us. And that is unique to you, just like that butterfly. That butterfly can only be the kind of butterfly that it's going to be. And if we had 2 butterflies here right now, they might look a little similar if they're the black and white type, but then there's so many like us. And I think what happens is sometimes when Yeah, when the caterpillar goes, you'll never get me up there on one of those. Because when we get ready to come into our fullness and we are ready to emerge and have our identity and express authentically, in our humanness, a lot of times we're like, well, I don't know that I really want people to see me because I'm not sure what they're going to say about me. I'm not sure that I can be what they want me to be. I'm not sure that I can live up to their expectations of me. And we get into our own judgment, if you will, of ourselves. And while we're judging ourselves, we're also judging them. So it's about the awareness of what is going on in our own process. To be able to say, I'm going to, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to surrender. That's my choice. Or I can say, no, I'm going to resist. And I'm going to hang on, I'm going to hook into something, but it's not going to be something that's going to serve me. It's not going to be something that's truly going to nourish me and be for my benefit. And chances are I'm hooked into fear. Chances are I'm hooked into separation. Chances are I'm hooked into a collective belief that has me engulfed. Or maybe it's something that I grew up with that is calling me now to shed that skin, to let that go, to truly surrender. Surrender, a lot of times we think of waving a white flag and saying, I quit. And truly, surrender is about laying down the old, dying unto the old, if you will. And as I surrender, what happens? There's a different energy. It's not a dense, constricted energy. And in that spaciousness, if you will, there is this amazing experience that begins to happen, just like within that cocoon and within that butterfly. And sometimes, if we're very present with it, we will have clues. Life, as Reverend Danny mentioned last week, do y'all remember what he said? Life will always find a way. Exactly. And that's what, and I love the Jurassic Park thing. I was excited. I came here last Sunday just because he was talking about Jurassic Park. Truth be told, right? Exactly. So the thing is, it's like life will always find a way. So within you, when you say, I'm going to surrender, I'm going to allow, I'm going to let go of what I think it should look like. I'm going to let go of what I think it should feel like. I'm going to be open to the miracle of this day. And maybe I'll find a, what was that called again? Larva moth? Luna moth. Yeah, that's even better because that's about the moon. A moon moth. Hey, we could do some moon moth walking or something. But we won't even go there. I never could quite understand that one. But the point is we get to do our own kind of walk and our own kind of talk that only we can do. Individually, collectively, oh, you guys get to gather together and collaborate and co-create and conspire. Like the universe is always conspiring for your good, for your goo, in this case, of the butterfly. In the goo. The next time you feel stuck and life is feeling sticky and icky and yucky, go, oh, okay. Let me breathe in the energy of the butterfly. Let that beautiful divine creature remind me of my truth and of my unique abilities, of what the Christ light consciousness is desiring to cultivate and express through and as me. Doesn't that just give you God bumps, goosebumps, goo bumps? It does me. So why do we stay small sometimes? I alluded to that earlier. We shrink down and we play small. But that's not what we're here to do. Because when we do that, that's when the universe brings you some of those nudges and experiences and moments that, oh, you're like, why is this happening now? I think COVID was a great example of that on a collective level. Why is this happening now? And for as many people as on this planet and beyond, were opportunities to appreciate it and approach it and perceive it from a different perspective. That was your choice. So in every moment, and I've said this before and you'll hear me say it often, we are creating something, whether we are conscious of it or not. We are having an input. We're having an energy. We're having a thought. We're having a belief. We're having an emotion. We are energy beings in these earth suits. You don't realize how powerful you are. And the instrument of peace that I mentioned a couple times ago, a voice for love, a voice for verity, the vessel that you are, the conduit for the Christ consciousness. So today I'm going to continue to invite you and challenge you like I do every time I'm here to step into, to be willing to say, yes, I'm willing to come to that edge. I'm willing to be uncomfortable, divinely discontent in that place of, ugh, and all of that, because what do I know? And this is where the kind of the rubber meets the road. What is it that you know? What do you believe in? It challenges our faith, does it not? For us to ask ourselves, what do I really believe in? What do I hold to be true? What kind of God do I believe in? What's so beautiful about unity? Many paths, one God. You know, it's interesting. I grew up, and something just popped in. I need to share this because my mom was Russian, okay? She was born in China. Her family fled communist Russia during the Bolshevik Revolution. So 7 kids were born in Russia. She and the younger sister were born in Manchuria, China. She grew up the first 25 years of her life in China. She was Russian Orthodox and had a very different understanding of God than my dad. My dad, born in Alabama, raised in Texas, okay? Love you, Dad, love you, Mom. They've both been gone over 20 years now. And my dad enlisted in the Air Force, okay? That's several talks, trust me. I could talk about Buddha, beer, bowling alleys, and baseball. I got it all covered. Got it all covered. Need to write that book. Trust me, that'd be a bestseller. Anyway, so my dad had an idea of God as very wrathful and vengeful. Oh my goodness. And it's not that he practiced it per se, because I think I went to the chapel on the air base maybe once or twice in my earliest recollection, up until we moved to Georgia when I was 12, and that's a whole other talk. But my dad had this image that he grew up with, that he was ingrained with. And my mom, even in her religiosity, and very much about ritual in her orthodoxy, but it was a kind and loving God that she grew up with. So it was fascinating, you can only imagine, to navigate this journey. And truth be told, even my brother and I, sometimes we talk about this, our home was very dysfunctional. And I think if we had a show of hands today, even on the planet, yeah, exactly. How about 2 or 3 hands up, right? How about some legs too, right? The whole thing. So we can all relate to that, yeah? We sure can. And you know what? That's the beauty of us, to be raw in our humanity and to come together, you know, in our vulnerability and our transparency and say, I love you. I love me. Because when I do that, we can collectively be in the goo with love and compassion. And that power, unlike any other, the power that what? Transforms our lives. The power that uplifts us out of those dark places when it's time. When it's time, just like the caterpillar evolving within the cocoon. If we rush that process and we open that cocoon too soon, the butterfly has its wings that are shriveled. And it needs to evolve in its own time to be able to have this natural process of evolution for it to emerge, for it to have that other time for blood to flow into its wings, to be able to say, wow. So then the caterpillar can go, holy shift, I'm excited to get to that place. Rather than go, oh, you'll never get me up there in one of those. When we realize, when we allow our soul self, I should say, to help us in our humanity realize what we came here to not do, but to be, it makes a huge difference. Because, again, our human self, the ego, and all of those kinds of things, the personality, the conditioned self, whatever you want to call it, that's the limitation. That's where we go, no, I'm going to stay in my comfort zone no matter what, and there's nothing you can do to get me out of it. And the universe goes, all righty then. We'll see about that. COVID, guess what? Yes. So, again, you have the opportunity to look at your life, to look at life, to look at your purpose in any way that you choose. Your own evolution. You came here to grow. You came here to shine your light. You came here to spread your wings. When you do that, you uplift another merely by your example, like the master teacher. What? The example. Not the great exception, the great example. These things have I done, and these things can you do also. My talk next month is all about the liftoff. Ooh. For now, though, it's about you being present with where you are. So present, tuned in to every nuance, to every aspect. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And then we're going to channel Clint Eastwood. Right? Those old spaghetti westerns. Weren't those great? A little pasta sauce on there, we're good to go. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it. So that we're able to say, you know what? I don't need to label this as good. I don't need to label this as bad. I can just label it as life in all of its many aspects, unfolding. And recognizing my role in that collective whole, in that collective chrysalis, so that we can say, you know what, as I transform my life, one breath, one awareness at a time, I am helping to transform the world to be all that it was created to be, to evolve, to grow through what it goes through, and to know that there is something greater than our human mind can ever imagine or contemplate, that not is just awaiting us, it's already here. It's already here. Every moment it's already here. It's how we, again, choose to receive it, to perceive it, to project it. The choice is yours. Individually, as community, the choice is yours. We're just a couple quotes I want to close with this morning. And the famous author, of course, we know is anonymous, right? Okay. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. You ever had those moments when you felt like maybe not just your personal world was over, but the world? I know we could have a lot of people right now say, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and all those kinds of things, and it's doom and gloom and all of that. Be mindful. Be very aware of what you allow yourself to be hooked by. Hook on to something that reminds your heart, your truth, and why you're here. That wisdom will guide you in every moment of being in that goo, without a doubt. This is a quote by Dodinsky, and it says, "The butterfly said to the sun, 'They can't stop talking about my transformation.' Yeah, I can only do it once in my lifetime. If only they knew they can do it at any time and in countless ways." Just like the butterfly, it goes through its phases. We go through the seasons of our life, do we not? The next season and the next. The key is this present moment. That's where your power is. That's where God is. In your very next breath. So breathe in with me that butterfly breath this morning. Holy shift. I can't wait to fly. And we're going to move into a time now of some contemplation and reflection on what I've shared with you as Don leads us into that time with some wonderful music.
Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at depth so that I may be one with God. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I may be one with God.
I invite you to take another beautiful butterfly breath. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes or leaving them open, whatever feels right for you right now. This is about you and your evolution, your transformation. Be present with yourself, all that you are and beyond. Notice your body right now, your physical body, this beautiful divine creation. Your sacred container for the Christ. Feel your muscles, your bones. Notice the rhythm of your heart beating. Life pulsating, streaming through you right now. Surrender to this breath. And let it flow through you without any restrictions. Let it flow freely and fully. Dissolving any doubts, any fears, any concerns. Allow it to transmute your thoughts. Dissolving the density and any heaviness you may be carrying with you this morning. Let it go. Just let it all be. Free flowing. Your faith being uplifted this morning. In every cell and fiber of your being, you are free. And on your next breath, allow yourself to breathe in these knowings, these truths. All is well. And I am blessed. I am loved. And so it is.
Into thy hand I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at depth so that I can be one with God. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I may be one with God.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. And thank you very much, Reverend Jeanie Ward, for such a beautiful, beautiful, uplifting message today. I thought I had my talk pretty much planned out for next week, but oh no, after that, I have to rethink everything. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Love you. Okay. Well, we've come to the time in our service now where we receive our tithes and our offerings. And, of course, we appreciate all the lovely volunteer energy here. We appreciate all your prayers and positive energy that you send to us. And it also takes money to make some of these things happen. So now's the time that we thank you. And we want you to know that every gift is important and very much appreciated. The energy of your love, prayers, and financial support carries us forward and helps us do what we do, and that is to be a shining light in this world. You may give in several ways. You can use text to give. Go to unityofgainesville.org/donate. You may use PayPal. the Vanco mobile app. You can do snail mail to 3415 Stansel Road, Gainesville, Georgia. Another way you can give is when you shop on Amazon, because most of us do use Amazon. If you designate on Smile that Unity of Gainesville is your charity, we get a portion of that. So that is a good way to give as well. So now, if you would, holding your gifts over your heart, join me in our prayer. We have a slide for that. There you go. Say it with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I choose to give and all that I am open to receive. I give in love and receive in abundance. Thank you, God. I am so blessed. And we now invite you to come forward as you're led and also place your offerings in the basket.
What's next? I don't know what to do. I'm so confused that I can't see that what's next. It could be so incredible, and I could see my dreams come true. When I stop to think just what my life could be, I let go of doubt, and then I just believe. What's next? I don't know what to do. I'm so confused that I can't see that what's next. It could be so incredible, and I could see my dream come true. Day after day, year after year, seasons go by, it's not so clear. So what's next? I don't know what to do. I'm so confused that I can't see that what's next. It could be so incredible, and I could see my dream come true. I can see my dream come true.
Don Necco. Oh, Dr. Reverend Danny Spear, Dr. Cindy, Darlene, Marlon, Reverend Jeanie Ward, Holy Shift. Yahweh, Abba, Ima, sweet Spirit, magnifying the presence of God within, reminding us of the limitless diversity of divine expression and our place in it. In the unifying energy of divine love, we are one. Growing in our physical and spiritual fitness, we open further to your holy shift, and our grateful hearts open us to unexpected blessings and express those in these sacred and abundant tithes and gifts. Thank you, for we seek you first. Let us crave knowing you like the caterpillar craves eating, to grow, allowing you to manifest in us. We are surrendered, allowing life to find a way, releasing our family dysfunctions, even the 4 B's of Buddha, beer, bowling, and baseball. No labels. Breathe in life, breathe out love. In this present moment, one with God. Into thy hands we commend our spirit. What's next? Our dream come true. We can do the Luna Moth moonwalk. Let's holy shift. Embrace the goo and feel the good. Hook that thingy. Ashe.
Thank you, Dr. Rick. Certainly, we always appreciate your blessings on the offering. Always. Okay, so before I get started, next week, I'll be back in the pulpit next week. The title of the talk is "Oh, Get Up Already." And our musician will be Kristen Justice. So we hope to see you again next week. Before I get started with the announcements very quickly, I have a couple of things we do not have slides for. First of all, we want to thank everyone who contributed in any way to the Easter potluck last week. That was so much fun. So if you came and ate and set up and cleaned up and brought food, thank you so much. It was good to see all of you here. Something else, May the 15th, we are having a volunteer appreciation luncheon. Okay, so we're going to have the lunch catered, and it's for all of our volunteers. And of course, everyone is invited to join us, but it's going to be just a special lunch, to recognize our volunteers. Because, folks, let me tell you something. We have very few paid staff here. Most everything that happens, if there's not a volunteer, it doesn't happen. So we want to appreciate our volunteers. Okay, so be with us May the 15th. Okay, all that said, we want to welcome our newcomers, whether you are out in virtual world or sitting in our congregation. If you feel comfortable raising your hand if you're with us for the first time, that's fine. We're not going to make you sing or dance or introduce you. We just want to recognize you. There you go. Thank you. It's good to see you this morning. Visiting from Blairsville, is that right? Oh, it's good to have you with us today. Okay, so opportunities for service at Unity of Gainesville. We still need help with Sunday greeters, the media team, and the bookstore. So if you want to volunteer for any of those things, or if you want to know about other places where perhaps you may feel gifted to serve, see me after service. I will put you in contact with the appropriate people. We have a church grounds beautification day on May the 7th. So if you missed April's workday and you think, darn, I wanted to help out with that, okay? May the 7th, Saturday, is your chance. See, Terry is not with us today, but Joe, would you raise your hand? Joe, you could see Joe, because Joe is like one of our grounds and beautification queens here, and she can help you out and tell you what is needed. Next up, 12 Powers book study. Wednesday, May the 11th, I will be leading a 6-week series on the 12 Powers. It is based on the book Power Up, the 12 Powers Revisited as Accelerated Abilities by Paul Hasselbeck and Cheryl Holton. Class meets from 6 to 7-ish, depending on how long our conversation goes. Our wonderful bookstore person, Lynn White. Lynn, would you raise your hand? See Lynn after service. She has the books available. We also have a Green Team Summit coming up. That is in association with Georgia Interfaith Power and Light. That is also on May the 7th. It is at First Presbyterian Church, Marietta, 189 Church Street, Marietta, Georgia. Tickets to the event are $40 with a $15 student ticket option offered as well. Begins at 9 o'clock. And you see if you can't see it there, the website is gipl.org. /GTS22. I'm sure if you just go to gipple.org, you will be able to find that as well. Okay. If you have any questions about anything I just said, you can either see me after service or go to unityofgainesville.org. Call our church at 770-534-09. Let me go. 0949. Forgot the last two digits. All right. So that is it for our announcements. I encourage you not to stand as you are comfortable doing so, and join me with the prayer of protection. Say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God unfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So as you leave this place today, go out into the world, spread your wings and fly, be the beautiful butterflies you are intended to be. Let this truth set you free. Go out and do it because, yes, you can. Go in peace. Amen.